Hello, everybody. This is Drew Thomas here. So, after the last stream, which had a bit of a sour note and a bit of anger here and there, I decided to make a stream about talking about exciting things coming up. We got the Zootopia sequel coming this month. Not to mention, we also have, the Thomas Express 4 coming out next month. So be prepared for some exciting adventures with the cast of Zootopia and Thomas and his friends. Speaking of Zootopia, I've decided to buy more characters because now I'm going to have a better looking Judy, a better looking Nick, and now Benjamin Clawhauser and Yax and Mr. Big are going to join the Drew Thomas and Friends cast eventually. So hope you're excited for that. We're going to have a whole express full of great friends to meet along the way. So we hope you're ready to see them with Thomas and his friends. And I also have another character watching THX logo video in production. I have who is going to be the next victim? Larry Boy from VeggieTales. Anyway. Sequel, so we're going to have to bring in the crew members. Obviously, we have my engineer and fireman, Wyatt and Chase. Chase is my engineer, Wyatt's my fireman, and I am their conductor. And because they have got their permits, Chase has his permit. Wyatt has his permit, and yeah, Chase has his license. Hello, Wyatt.
Hey. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm gonna get my social security card on the 24th so I can get my permit. Yes, I passed the test, but I don't have a social security card to get my permit, so that's what we're gonna work on the 24th.
Yeah. And I bet you're wondering why I am not at Thanksgiving. Why I'm not set for Thanksgiving is because, I mean, who talks about Thanksgiving really? I mean, it's not like there's Thanksgiving songs, except there's like three that I know of. One that's a children's song, the other that's just sounds like you're trying to be redneck, and then the other, which is by Matthew West. Anyway, I'm going to be taking my girlfriend to see Zootopia 2. I'm really looking forward to this because I really think it's going to be a great sequel. It's probably going to be the movie of the year. I mean, sure, there was that Minecraft movie, there was the live action Lilo and Stitch, and Final Destination Bloodlines. But I truly think the movie of the year is going to be, Zootopia 2. There was also Elio, but I didn't really see Elio in theaters.
I didn't see it. I don't have plans on watching that movie ever.
I know there's also the Superman movie, and there is also Fantastic Four, which the rest of my family got to see, and they unfortunately got to see the Zootopia 2 trailer in theaters, and I didn't. No matter though, because I'll be able to see the full movie on the big screen. But yeah, I've recently just bought new characters. Not only that, but I've also gotten my Switch tracks.
Nice.
Yep. So looks like I'm gonna be all set for putting Thomas and the Polar Express on different tracks. Because whenever they arrive at the North Pole, they're gonna be parked alongside each other.
Speaking of that, Lionel actually made a Bluetooth version of the Frozen set.
Oh. They've also made a new Bluetooth O-gauge battery-powered Polar Express, which I'm gonna probably get.
They don't have videos of it yet, but they also have a Santa Fe freight set and a Hogwarts set.
Oh yeah. Hey, the best part about this Polar Express is that it actually has a Bluetooth remote control, so I don't have to use my phone.
And it runs on the actual O gauge track, so these trains connect. If we ever go back to Chase's house, we can run these on his O gauge track.
Yeah. Because I mean, we put my battery operated Dirty Dan on the O gauge track.
Yeah.
Which thankfully they can fit.
While you're probably going after the Polar Express one, I'll probably be after the Pennsylvania Flyer set. Although I'd probably have to wait a while to get these sets because have you seen the price on them on the Y&L store?
Oh yeah, I'm waiting until they're on Amazon so I can get them for a cheaper price.
Well, that's if Amazon.
Yeah.
That's if Amazon puts them on a cheaper price, but still.
Well, how about that? He's going to Dave and Buster's. Well, I'm going to tell you where me and Chase are going, and Wyatt too. We're going to the Iron Spike Model Train Museum in Washington, Missouri. and I think my dad and my brother are going to come along. But you probably see my brother from Drew Thomas the movie, the first one.
Yeah. I'm also doing the St. Louis Polar Express this coming Wednesday.
Cool. As soon as I'm able to get it all clear, I'm going to do it on December 13th because on the 14th I'm going to be doing, yeah, I'm not sure if they're actually gonna. Yeah, it's in development, but I'm not sure if they're gonna actually carry through. Because, well, one, I'm not sure if the Polar Express even needs a sequel, and two, all I've most been seeing is just AI articles and shit like that.
If they even make a sequel, what would be the storyline for it?
Maybe the hero boy trying to prove to others that Santa's real, or maybe he becomes an actual railroader or something like that. I'm not sure.
I don't know. It doesn't really make any sense. Also, I'm doing
The-
on just for Black Friday Day. I'm going to be doing SDC, mainly just to get our yearly Christmas ornaments because they run out pretty fast.
Yeah, for me on Black Friday, I'm going to be traveling with Chase and his family to Branson. At
Yeah.
least that evening, if our oh wait, I looked at the hotel. It doesn't have an indoor pool, but well, I suppose we could probably watch some TV. Like we could watch some Christmas movies. For all we know, we might be seeing some now playing Zootopia 2 trailers or TV spots,
Well,
especially if we go on Freeform or Disney Channel.
yeah, I'm just going to be at Solar City just for today. I'm not going to stay there during the evening. It's pretty much just going to be for today.
Well, I do think that people need to stop using AI for stuff.
It's
So yeah,
ridiculous.
I'm excited because recently Keystone Studios had announced that they're going to use AI to make the new VeggieTales movie about Larry Boy. And a lot of the VeggieTales fan base were all ticked off. Yeah.
You can tell now a lot of people are not going to be watching that movie. It's going to have a
However,
rating.
yeah, I have a feeling that it's not even going to be. I have a feeling they're not even going to carry through with the movie unless they rehire the original crew members because they got fired because they wanted more control over the show that they made.
Yeah.
Ah, yes, the North Pole.
Oh yeah, Ides of March. If you've seen that one video Ides of March did at Solar City, he got, and when he rode the train, of course, he got uh, Winter Wonderland playing.
Oh yeah, I saw that. He he has also filmed. He's also filmed the POVs of Thunderation and Time Traveler.
And Outlaw Run too. So
Oh, I
far,
didn't know he was on
he,
that law.
he's If anything, he'll probably be doing Wildfire and Powder Keg next. Who knows? Even Fire in the Hole.
Oh, Fire in the Hole would be awesome. I wonder maybe I could ask if I could use his POVs for, you know, future videos or something like that.
I noticed Billy and Mr. Six Flags are up in Branson over the weekend or for the weekend.
Yeah.
Billy got to meet Trevor yesterday, so that was cool. He
Oh
sent me
yeah. Yeah, I do like Monster House, although Halloween is over, so yes. He's quoting the song, which happens to be a bop. Anyway, so speaking of Tom's Express, I have bought new Zootopia characters. I pretty much have some of the same ones, like except now I have Yax, Mr. Big, and Benjamin Clawhauser coming in. Because I think that it'll be fun to have Clawhauser on Drew Thomas. I feel like he and Sir Topham Hatt would be great friends because they both love to eat donuts sometimes. Well, especially Clawhauser. He's obsessed with many things: donuts, gazelle, and his favorite cereal. I'm also going to be trying to work on the other coaches during this week, and I think I better also work on getting the hook and loop coupler from one of the pieces of the Hogwarts sets onto the Hogwarts coach. Anyway, I've also decided that I'm gonna film some stuff on the Polar Express in St. Louis, and that's pretty much gonna be that's pretty much gonna be used as Zootopia whenever Thomas arrives there to pick up Nick and then Judy and then other characters.
I need to get some better photos of the North Pole Central. I just realized that. Hmm.
So for Christmas, are you gonna keep your profile name as White's Train World, or are you gonna think of some sort of Christmas name?
I think I've got a couple right now, but I'm not. I'm waiting to change mine at a later time.
Yeah. Don't just stand there singing the song. Come join our stream. Besides we have to get ourselves hyped up for our birthday coming up. As of right now, my sister's celebrating hers by having a slumber party, which thankfully the girls are not in the dining room. Otherwise, you probably hear them laughing and stuff in the background. Well, I mean, what's not to love? We're trying our best to create better stuff, and yeah. Anyway, I think come next payday is when I'm gonna finally get my ticket for the Polar Express, if they're not sold out already. Otherwise, I, however, by then I need to ask Mom if we have our game plan. Otherwise, yeah.
I think our ticket for the Polar Express is Silver Bells,
Oh yeah, I saw it on the ticket.
which I have no idea why the tickets have nicknames.
It's the coaches actually. The coaches are named after various Polar Express stuff. Like there's Caribou Crossing, Glacier Gulch, North Pole, Silver Bells, just to name a few.
So wait, which card is Silver Bells then? Because I've been trying to look through that, what the heck it was for and stuff. I couldn't figure it out.
I don't know. Um, I do know that there's some various ticket ratings. Like there's premium. There's
Hmm.
um. So Chase just sent me a unreleased Polar Express related song or something like that. So I suppose now would be a good time to tell you that Disney had just released the "We Are United" song from Zootopia Better Together onto Spotify. I feel like that could be a fun song to do a Drew Thomas music video of, especially since I have animal characters. And 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 the song also mentions that we're on a train of thoughts. That's what Judy sings it's showing them whenever it's showing them on like this rotating platform or whatever. I swear, I think some of the people who are creating Zootopia must really love trains because I mean, the first Zootopia had
I mean,
like
don't forget that um it's part of Disney, so and Walt
yeah, well,
Disney liked trains, so
yep.
because and I just like to.
Oh yeah, you saw the comment about him, you know. Anyway, yeah, you told me in the chat a couple, like 100 times, but yeah. Anyway, so I'm also thinking about getting a new Trackmaster slash Tommy, Annie, and Clarabelle, mainly so I can mainly so they can look like the ready to play coaches because the ready to play coaches have the old liveries with the you know with the classic faces as opposed to CGI. Anyway, trying to think of what else there is to talk about. I've mostly been doing is collecting Thomas the Tank Engine stuff and more characters, which unfortunately I lost Jelly Otter, so I'm probably gonna have to look for I'm probably gonna have to print out a new Jelly because I don't know where Jelly is. So I'm probably gonna ask Mom to print out a new Jelly Otter. I think I'm gonna also ask her to print out a new Uzi because Uzi got decapitated, so I'm gonna have to also print out Munchie Beaver and a few other characters. No Zootopia characters because Zootopia characters are a lot easier to find than PB&J Otter characters because they got a lot on eBay and Amazon. Although I'm still debating on whether or not I should include the Judy and Nick uniforms from the second movie, or if I should just keep them as the first movie uniforms. Because in the because I do have figurines that I got from McDonald's of them in their new outfits, although they're on these bases, so yeah, I'm not sure.
Did notice that there was more teasers for Toy Story 5 recently.
Oh,
Which why does Lionel go for making a Bluetooth set for the freaking Frozen set, but they won't do it for Toy Story?
I'm sure they'll eventually make a Bluetooth Toy Story set.
I'm most likely like that if they did. You need to make more of those.
Yeah. Originally in the Thomas Express 4, I was going to have it to where Nick and Judy live together, but because in the sequel they're going to be living in different houses, Thomas is going to have to visit both of their houses and pick them up one by one. I felt like in Drew Thomas, Judy would be an easy one, but Nick would still be skeptical because, well, yeah. You because imagine if you were like him and you saw a character you've seen before on the streets of Zootopia coming up to your house to take you to the North Pole. You'd probably be a little skeptical because, well, I mean, yeah.
I know for one thing we're gonna as of I know right now for what we're doing when we do the Polar Express is that we're gonna go probably to Crackle Barrel in Valley Park, eat there for a little bit, and then head up to Union Station, which depending on the time we'll probably um, look around because after all it's our first time in Union Station. So
Yeah, I feel like for whenever I go on the Polar Express, I feel like I should have some time to look around Union Station because, well, I've only been once and I didn't really do much because I was mostly there to let my mom use the bathroom. And during that time, I decided to film some stuff.
yeah. Also, the Union Station did get an, I guess, new like little theme park or whatever with a couple of rides where they have
Oh yeah.
a small spinning coaster like Time Traveler, but in a like train like theme.
Yeah, I feel like though it's going to be more like the roller coaster they had at Incredible Pizza Company, which that has recently closed in St. Louis.
Oh, it has? Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, basically Incredible Pizza is like Chuck E. Cheese, except without those creepy robotic animatronics and mascot characters.
Yeah.
I remember they had movie screens. I don't know what movie we saw, but I do know that some movie screens were playing VeggieTales, and one of them was playing Thomas the Tank Engine.
Incredible Pizza was pretty cool. Like they had like all sorts of stuff in there. Like they had small like carnival rides in there. They had freaking go kart track in there. I think they had a laser tag um thing in there. They had a lot of stuff.
It's basically like the Zone in Rala, except it actually sells pizza and,
Or could be in a way Dave and Buster's in a way.
yeah, I still have yet to go to Dave and Buster's.
I've
Mm,
never been to a Dave and Buster's before either.
me too. I mean, so far I've been to Chuck E. Cheese, but while I've also been to Incredible Pizza once before that tragically closed in St. Louis.
I think the last time I ever been to Incredible Pizza was like a couple years ago. I remember our in my 8th grade year they had a field trip to Incredible Pizza, but that was like around the time my birthday was happening, so we decided to go to Branson. Or no, it wasn't around my birthday. We just had plans to go to Branson. So
there's yeah. Um, Another place I've been to that wasn't a McDonald's or a Chuck E. Cheese was called Monkey Joe's. It had like a bunch of bounce houses and stuff.
what about Sky Zone?
I haven't been to Sky Zone.
Oh, I only
How
been
old are you doing, Phil Ronnie?
I have only been once or twice to just for friends' birthday parties. There's not much a lot of doing the Sky Zone we have here. And I've seen videos before where some Sky Zones have like a zip line, which I thought was pretty cool. But our Sky Zone doesn't have that. So
Huh. I actually did reference Sky Zone and Dave and Buster's and Chuck E. Cheese in my
oh yeah,
sequel. Yeah.
yeah.
It's
We're
also a nod to whenever I heard Try Everything playing at a Chuck E. Cheese in Columbia back in 2016 when I visited. Yeah, I remember that was like the one thing keeping me sane.
I noticed too whenever we would fly, whenever we would go to Utah to see my brother, whenever we were in the airport, they had like a banner inside the airport showing of like stuff you can do in the St. Louis area. Six Flags and the Museum of Transportation were on that mural.
Oh,
I
that's
think
cool.
when Six Flags showed up on the mural, I think it showed like a picture of American Thunder.
Awesome.
And then for the Museum of Transportation, I think they had a picture of the outside exhibit of the lined up locomotives.
I bet you might be able to see one of those on. I bet you might be able to see one of those at the airport in California. Maybe, I'm not sure.
Yeah, and I think
Like, in point,
the zoo also showed up in the banner as well.
uh, I guess they were trying to get people to visit the awesome, you know.
Yeah, it makes sense for them to
Yeah, I
have
saw
that.
your comment.
Literally, because I mean, there's people who lives in this country has never been in St. Louis, so they have that banner there for people who's taking their first visit into St. Louis, and letting those people know what activities they can do in the St. Louis area. What surprised me is that the WFMP wasn't on the banner, because that's starting to get like famous around this time now, because yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely, you know.
Be pretty cool if the WFMP gets pretty famous enough to where they start making commercials, TV commercials.
That'd be awesome. I mean, I know that there's like a lot of Silver City um, TV commercials. I've actually seen one playing on the TV up at the McDonald's I worked at. I was like, pretty sure I was like doing lobby work, and then it just aired. And I remember at the end of the commercial, you can guess what I hear?
Yep.
That iconic train whistle.
Almost every single commercial, almost every single ad from Solar City, they have that train whistle from Fire
Yeah,
and at the end of the ad.
yeah. It's the same way the Carnival Cruise always has that foghorn tuba sound or something like that. Every
Yeah.
Carnival commercial always has that foghorn or that, you know, ship horn.
Yeah. I always like it when we're just watching TV and then out of nowhere just Sword City ad would pop up.
Have you seen these Zootopia 2 ads?
I think I've seen one or two on my phone while I was watching YouTube, but that was like I think a month ago.
Yeah. They've been releasing a lot of new clips and stuff because now we've seen what Nick's apartment looks like, both on the outside and the inside. And we also see what they do sometimes for daily routines. And we also have a new clip of what happened following the madness that's going to be at the beginning of the movie with Nick and Judy causing trouble for the parade, which that's when we're going to see the Dwayne Johnson character, which is an accident-prone Dick or whatever it's called, named Zeke.
Hey Zeke, the conductor Zeke.
Huh. Not to be confused with that conductor, because at least this conductor doesn't get his head trapped in a tuba like what's going to happen in Zootopia 2. Have to get an elephant to blow him out.
Yeah. You know what's funny? A couple of movies I've watched in the past, there's been a character that was named Trevor.
Well, there's Trevor the Traction Engine from Thomas and Friends.
We should just joke around with Trevor actually about that. Are you
I should
named
bring my
Trevor?
Trevor the Traction Engine wooden railway. Yeah.
Just
I might get a take along Trevor too, because I remember I had a take along Trevor before. It was pretty sick, but well, you know.
but not only just not only characters from Thomas. I've heard characters be named Trevor. Like if you know from I guess Bigfoot family, whatever
I've
movie.
never heard of that one.
It's okay. It's a pretty weird movie. It's where where his father is a freaking Bigfoot, and oh my god, I'll have to show you more on that later. But
I've
it's
seen my fair share of weird movies. Like one of them was a Cars ripoff called A Car's Life to Sparky's Adventure. It was a weird movie.
well, the Bigfoot movie I'm talking about. It's not a terrible movie. I mean, they have like two movies, so
Hmm.
and they're not terrible. So
I'll have to give it a watch someday.
yeah, I think the first one is named the Big Son of Bigfoot, and I believe the second one is named Bigfoot Family, whatever it is. I don't know. But like I said, they're not bad movies. They're not. I don't believe they're ripping off anything. But yeah, there's a character in both movies that's named Trevor, where he thinks he's the main character and all that.
Yeah.
But I also know that there's a couple of kids in my school that are named Trevor, but I don't know any of them.
Um. I there's been a few Trevors I've heard about. Like there is Trevor Davis, who's a Thomas the Tank Engine YouTuber who has talked about Thomas toy lines and stuff, and he's also talked about other shows and movies. Um, Aside from that, I'm not sure if there's any other Trevors I've heard about. I don't think I went to school with any Trevors.
Yeah. And the most one I like the most is Trevor Duff, which his character, the character with that Trevor, it works at Silver Dollar City. So,
Yeah,
and there's another Trevor there too. So,
I feel like my Halloween special was like the first one to have narration done by Thomas, which is sort of kind of a reference to Bubba whenever they decided to have Thomas narrate the stories instead of having a narrator.
hmm,
But yeah, I sort of just threw that together with the clips I already gotten, and you know, originally supposed to be a lot more longer and have a lot more stuff, but well, because longer videos are hard to make on my phone, I just decided to just, you know,
yeah,
maybe I might release some deleted scenes.
I remember how we had ideas of making like a behind the scenes like video for both Drew Thomas the movie one and Drew Thomas the movie two, but that never happened.
Oh yeah, right. I forgot about that. Well, we might do I might do behind the scenes of the Thomas Express films because that movie starting is going to be turning 5 this year, so yeah. It's
Hmm.
also my most viewed Drew Thomas movie of all time right now. The first Thomas Express of all things. So I guess a lot of people really wanted a Thomas the Tank Engine retelling of the Polar Express. And personally, I don't blame them. I've always wanted one of that. I've always wanted that when I was a kid. I finally got my wish in 2020. The first one has its fair share of crazy moments and hilarious parts. Anyway, I might watch the Polar Express movie sometime this weekend because, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I actually think the new O gauge battery sets, I think, will probably be a pretty decent line because if you've seen the track layouts for every single set, it's a figure eight, pretty much. And
Oh,
also,
yeah.
and if you remember how you wanted to get the all engines go set just to get the signals, well,
Yeah,
you don't have to get the all engines go set. You'd already have that if you get the Polar Express set because
yeah.
from what I've seen, they had the signals and all that you wanted to get. So
I kind of hope Lionel goes back and makes a new Thomas instead of the All Engines Go Thomas.
yeah, I noticed in the Hogwarts and I noticed in the O gauge battery powered sets now they actually represent the electric powered O gauge sets.
There,
That's what Lionel should have done with the
yeah,
Thomas. That represented off the electric powered um you know Thomas.
yeah,
Oh,
the O gauge. Yeah.
yeah, because if you look closely at the Polar Express and Hogwarts sets in the Pennsylvania and the Santa Fe sets, they pretty much represent the other O gauge versions.
I do know that there is an original version of the O gauge battery operated Polar Express that doesn't have moving connecting rods. And it's
Oh yeah,
not Bluetooth. And it doesn't have a remote.
it yeah. Apparently, I know for for that set they reused, I guess, the printing models for the tender and the cars from the G gauge ready to play versions,
Oh yeah.
but they
Um
scaled them down.
yeah, I still wonder if I can I still wonder if I can actually couple up O gauge cars to the Polar Express and because I might just get two more cars. Like I might get the marionette car, I might get the hobo car, unless if the observation car is already going to have the hobo.
Yeah, I also do like in these sets too. They actually instead of like coming in a package with just the engine tender and just two cars, they actually come in with a third car.
Yeah, this is like
Yeah, like the Polar Express, it comes with obviously the engine tender, two passenger cars, which apparently I just figured out that the passenger cars take batteries just so the inside of the cars can light up.
oh cool.
I think it's double A or triple A.
I always thought they were just powered by the rails.
Why would you think that? This is battery powered, not
Oh
electric.
wait, this is a yeah. Yeah, I'm still wondering if I can actually get like the O gauge rolling stock and couplets to those cars because I mean they look sort of like the O gauge cars, so the real issue is if they don't have a similar coupler.
Yeah, you know actually the new O gauge sets would probably be cool to bring to a Branson condo because they'll be more smaller and we'll have a little bit more room to put them around in the condo or hotel.
Yeah. We could actually bring it to a hotel. Yeah. Um
But
plus
that's some
plus if I ever get track from my O gauge Hudson, I have coaches now. I just use the Polar Express coaches.
well, yeah. But the only thing is, your Hudson won't be able to be run because the track is plastic.
Oh yeah, I know.
But
I know it
it,
can fit on the track, but well, it can't run without electricity in the rails. or
Yeah,
the middle rail.
yeah. And the cool thing is with the sets, they already come with switch tracks and a crossover track.
Oh yeah, because it's pretty much a figure eight / oval.
Yeah, so that would be pretty useful too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure they could probably fit on Trackmaster track. So that means the Polar Express can actually go to the Superstation.
that's something we'll have to figure it out if you ever get that Polar Express.
Yeah, which I know that the O gauge battery operated Ollinger's Go-Toms could fit on the Trackmaster track. So
Wait, did you actually get the Oranges Go set?
no, I've just seen videos.
Oh,
I could probably try it with my O gauge Hudson to see if they could fit on any of my Trackmaster or Tomy or yeah.
yeah,
And I'm
because
sure he could definitely glide along the Superstation track easily.
yeah, but time will tell. Hopefully, the pricing for those sets will actually lower down to a better price.
I think whether they lower down or not, I'm still gonna try to get it.
Yeah, if they don't lower it down, the best option is just to save up for it because yeah, there's nothing
Yeah.
else there's nothing we can do about it just to change the freaking price on them. So
I feel like I might get more bridge pieces, mainly so I can have like a bridge scene in the Thomas Express 4, where Thomas is going over a bridge. But sadly, I won't be able to get like a mountain set, so I mean, I guess I could probably just, you know, I could probably just find a Tomy Boulder Mountain set and use that.
yeah,
And that could be the mountain, although, um, or maybe I might just have it to be where it's a bridge, and that's what's gonna be used whenever Thomas is you know, it's basically gonna be used whenever Nick and Judy and Mr. Conductor are moving from the front of Thomas to the back into the passenger cars.
yeah. I also want to point out on those new O gauge sets too. Yes, the cool thing is they're Bluetooth, but they also come with their own Bluetooth remote. So that means we don't have to worry about having another person controlling the trains while somebody else can just get video of run by videos of the trains running.
Yeah, I
Just
feel like for yeah yeah because it's gonna be hard for me to because I tried running the Polar Express whenever I tried running the Polar Express and taking video of it recently. However, after a while, it would just eventually disconnect
mm,
and just immediately shut off, and then the Polar Express would just come to a stop
that's
as we
why
hear the chirping sounds.
that's why I really wish we were like somewhere together where we could just record or so we could just film like the scenes of the Polar Express, at least the Bluetooth version at least, but
I
still.
could always ask my brother to get the Bluetooth app, and I could have him help drive the Polar Express whenever I'm filming, if I can convince him or
Yeah,
a family member. I could just tell him to get the Cab 3 app, or they could probably film while I drive.
yeah. Yeah, and there's a lot of great things to these sets that can come to because if we did get them, we can actually bring them along to a Branson trip where
Yeah,
because they're a lot more smaller than the G gauge versions, we can actually get run by videos without needing somebody else to run the engine or running the train while somebody else does the recording. So, well, yeah,
Yeah, I think I might get that as like a birthday present for me. Unless if someone wants to get it for me as like a birthday or Christmas present, why I need to try to release this Thomas Express 4 by Christmas. Which thankfully while my dad's away, I could probably see about using his computer.
for what editing?
Yeah, if he's okay with it, which um he has trusted me with it in the past. So, however, this time he's going to be on a cruise, so I'm not sure if you know. Which I'm sure if I can talk him into it and I've asked him really nicely, I'm sure he'll let me.
Yeah,
I really can't wait to get this new Polar Express train though.
yeah. I would like to get both the Hogwarts and the Santa Fe freight sets, but I mostly wanted to get the Pennsylvania Flyer because I mainly just like the model, the looks of the engine. And the cool thing is it comes with the same passenger cars the Polar Express comes with, but it doesn't have an observation car as it only has a caboose. I mean, yeah, the Pennsylvania one comes with the same cars as the Polar Express does, but they are just repainted ones, the same as Pennsylvania Flyer.
Yeah, I'll probably also eventually. Um, I'll So I'm definitely gonna have to look into getting that Polar Express. And hey, because I'm gonna have these new Zootopia figurines that are gonna look even better, you know. Which they're gonna be the same size as Thomas from what it looks like. The Trackmaster Thomas is. So I could probably use both figurines if necessary. Although Nick's nose is starting to become a lot is starting to lose his paint, so I may have to repaint Nick's nose. And that's the Drew Thomas the movie 2 figurine that I have. And while
Yeah,
the small version of G Nick I have is all right, but they don't look fully detailed. Like Nick's wearing his green pants that he was supposed to wear in the original version of Zootopia, where he was going to be the main character. And Judy, well, um, her feet is missing detailing. However, thankfully the Drew Thomas the movie 2 figurines are a little bit more detailed, although they could use a lot more color and stuff.
yeah,
However, these new figures have like, you know, obviously Judy will be holding her police badge, so they're already going to be posed. So if I wanted to pose them, I would just use the Drew Thomas movie 2 figurines, which I'll mostly use that for like Glacier Gulch, you know, which sadly Thomas won't have a front platform, so I'm probably just gonna have to wear it either in the cab or
yeah,
I have to where maybe Mr. Conductor is on the front, and he's pretty much trying to hold on to Thomas as he's racing down Glacier Gulch, and Nick and Judy are in the cab, along with the other characters.
yeah.
And I think instead of ice cracking, I feel like it should be an avalanche that Thomas comes across, and he's like, "Avalanche!" And then he has to try to get back on track before he gets covered by the avalanche, keeping him from going to the North Pole. It's out, which seems a lot more easier to do. So I could probably just use my couch, just like the mountainside, and just get some fake snow, and just use that as like the you know.
Yeah.
And there'll be like this opening Thomas has to go through, and he has to go through before the avalanche covers the track.
Let me just figure this out. Since I'm to sell my actual O gauge, stuff and wanting to get the new O gauge battery powered set. I think I'll have a spot to actually have it run on a table since I'm wanting to sell my actual O gauge stuff to either you or Chase. So I'll actually have a spot to have the layout for it if I get one.
I was going to see some appearances of old favorites in the Thomas Express 4. Like we're going to see Emily, and we'll also see Toby pulling Henrietta. Because Toby and Henrietta have appeared in the recent Halloween episode. But yeah. I decided to have him stay at the sheds because sometimes I'm trying to keep Tim's sheds to be more realistic, where it's not just a specific home for the engines. It's just, an engine shed that's used for engines resting there for the night. Why wasn't Edward there? He was probably pulling a goods train. That's why.
I noticed Gordon wasn't in the sheds either.
Yeah, he was pulling the express. Yeah. Ever since I got the new versions of the engines, I've just, I haven't just kept them in the shed because, now that they look more useful, I wanted to give the illusion like they're out and about being really useful. I'm still debating on whether or not I should get a play rail, James, or if I should just stick with the wooden railway.
Well, you do have some rolling stock that use wooden railway, so
yeah, I'm thinking I'm going to keep it, James.
And then if you do get a play rail, James, you can use the play rail, James, for like other play rail rolling stock if needed.
Yeah. Like if James ever took the express, I could just hook him up to Gordon's express coaches. I might get red express coaches, so that way, if I can find red express coaches.
I've looked on eBay for the play rail Back to the Future set, and they are expensive.
Damn.
It's just I kind of do want to get the Back to the Future set mainly because I like the engine, and I'm pretty sure it's mainly why everybody is after the set because they like the model of the engine and the
It's not Halloween anymore. Okay.
But yeah.
Oh yeah, some Zootopia channel called the Zootopia Archive has released the shorts of Day in the Life of Zootopia, which one of them was called Are You Asleep Yet, which involves Doug, Walter, and Jesse trying to have Bellwether have a good night's sleep while she's while she's in jail. I still have yet to find Doug, Walter, and Jesse. So far, I just have, which I don't think they have figurines of them. But I feel like they should have had a Subway escape set or something like that, where it has Nick and Judy, and there's like this play set with an open up subway car that has Doug's lab with some set pieces, and it has Doug, Walter, and Jesse, and you can even push along the subway car to recreate the scene. We could put Judy and Nick inside the cab, and you can, So I feel like that would have been a fun set to have. Or I guess I could have it to where Doug, Walter, and Jesse are still in Zootopia, and Bella just has to get back to Zootopia because she ended up in St. Louis during her prison escape. And so that's why. And so she has to try to blackmail Mr. Conductor into taking him home. And however, when she finds Thomas, she tries to get him rolling, but eventually Thomas ends up rolling down the hill before plummeting into the Magic Railroad with Nick and Judy on board. That's probably what's going to happen in my upcoming Drew Thomas the Movie 3. Because this is basically going to be my own retelling of Magic Railroad. In a way.
Yeah. Also noticed the new O-Gauge stuff. I noticed on Amazon that they're starting to sell extra track pieces for the new O-Gauge battery-powered line.
I think it's a little weird how there's Zootopia. How there's an ad for the Zootopia 2 toys where apparently McDonald's exists in Zootopia. So hopefully cows and birds aren't actual. I mean, technically, Chief Bogo is a part of the cow family. So if they if they order a cheeseburger, they're practically eating the kind that they're pretty much eating the chief's kind, which Chief Bogo would probably be like insubordination. So it would definitely be insubordinate to have a cheeseburger.
Imagine that's the movie line where they're just cooking the cow family.
Oh man.
Just like in the first movie with the racism with the with the predators and prey.
Yeah. I guess maybe it might be imitation meat, because I mean it would kind of make sense, and it would also help keep the predators from, which so far we do know that in Zootopia 2, the protein for the animals is going to be bugs and fish. In fact, it's literally going to be a scene of Judy feeling sick while looking at a plate of bugs, according to one of the recent teasers that just got released. And while fish is used as protein too, because there's a whole fishing market now.
Yeah.
Heck, in the first Zootopia, during the scenes of Tundra Town, we could see during the scenes of Tundra Town during Try Everything, we saw a fish market. So fish is the protein in Zootopia. But what about birds? That's my question. Are birds alive in Zootopia, or are they just,
I'm still wondering
protein?
Cloak figure is if he's going to be the actual villain of the movie.
Wait, who?
That cloaked figure from the first teaser.
Yeah. They pretty much ditched the whole cloak figured character because, well,
that's
it was
official.
it was made as like a metaphor by saying we're gonna have a real villain.
Oh, so that's not going to be anything a part of the movie now.
Yeah, not really. It was just mostly done so they can get people excited and hyped. Now, I'm not trying to spoil anything, but I think the villain might be Milton Linksley. I mean, he says, "I want that fox and that rabbit."
You know what? Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah. At least, hopefully, Mayor Winddancer is going to be a lot more better than Lionheart, because, well, from what I've seen, though, he doesn't seem like the brightest fellow, but at least he's not going to kidnap a bunch of animals and turn them all savage. Because, Lionheart kidnapped a bunch of animals and held them hostage because they were going savage, and he didn't want to lose his job because he was a predator. And then Bellwether, y'all know what she did.
Well, from the sounds of it, the mayor was actually talking to the person you were to the character you were talking about.
Oh yeah, Milton Linksley.
Yeah,
I know that the Linksley family, there's going to be Pauberts, played by Andy Samberg, who's known for playing Johnny from Hotel Transylvania, and he also played as Baby Brent from the Cloudy films. And then there's two other ones voiced by Brenda Song and Macaulay Culkin, who've played Kevin McAllister from Home Alone.
Hmm.
Which I know they're selling poppers as part of the McDonald's Happy Meal toys. Sadly, they do not have a Chief BOGO toy. They only have like Flash, Nibbles Maple Stick, Gary, and yeah. I feel like the whole Hey Bub scene, I think it's somewhat funny, but I feel like it's a little forced. Like it's pretty much them trying to, they're pretty much them trying to make something funnier than the Flash DMV scene. So I think it's like a little too silly. Anyway, we've reached the 1 hour mark, so remember these. So remember these upcoming things coming up. Zootopia 2 comes out on Wednesday, November 26th. I'm gonna be there with my girlfriend watching that movie, and we're gonna turn that whole movie theater into a zoo. Ooh ooh, like the song, the theme song of the movie. Yep, the second movie has its own song called "Zoo" by Shakira and Ed Sheeran. And obviously we have We Are United, which is part of the new Zootopia Better Together attraction, which just opened yesterday. It's a shame I don't live in Florida, because if I did, I would go to Animal Kingdom straight away and pay visits to that attraction. At least now I know there's like 3 go-tos for me at Animal Kingdom now: that train ride, Expedition Everest, and now Zootopia Better Together. So I definitely want to see that. Like that's probably going to be my go-to first thing whenever I go to Disney World. Like as soon as I get there, I'm going to go to Better Together, meet Nick and Judy again, and give them big hugs. Like even when we go to California, I'm still going to try to find Nick and Judy there, because, well, I know that they are at California Adventure. They do regular meet and greets. So I'm gonna get a park hopper for sure, because I want my girlfriend to meet Stitch, which that's gonna be my top priority. I'm gonna make sure my girlfriend meets Stitch when we go to Disneyland. Anyway, so that's all to say about the stream. So also be sure to check out the Thomas Express 4 coming out this Christmas. So stay tuned for the first teaser trailer, because I think I might release that sometime in December. So stay tuned, and we hope you're ready. In fact, this picture you see right here of my profile picture is some of the behind the scenes stuff we are doing here. This was done by my good friend Damien. He rocks. He is awesome. Sure, we've had our issues in the past, but we are much older now, and now we get along very well. I'm really glad we get along too, because, you should never. It's okay to have disagreements, but you shouldn't just cut them off completely. Sometimes I disagree with stuff that Wyatt and Chase say, but, well, obviously though I'm coping better because I'm getting older and stuff, but still. Anyway, so that's pretty much all I have to say. So like, subscribe, Drew Thomas, and remember to have a Merry Christmas, and remember to behave yourself and be good. Anyway, that's Drew Thomas signing off. Good night, and pickles suck, and to the North Pole!